An armed teenager's apparent attempt to steal an airplane at the Texarkana Airport was stopped by a local pilot with a gun.
So this might be the wildest thing I've heard all week. A 15-year-old walks into an airport with an AR-15, demands a plane, and gets stopped. Not by law enforcement, not by airport security, but by a random everyday pilot with a gun.
According to police, this all started at around 7:30 this morning when a teenager walked into Signature Aviation armed with a rifle and demanded to be given an airplane. Now, store employees were able to get away from the suspect and call police, at which point he breached a door leading to the airfield. That's when a local pilot spotted the suspect and drew his own gun and demanded that the teen drop his weapon and get on the ground. The suspect complied, and TAPD were on the scene shortly after to take him into custody. The teenager's name will not be released due to his age, and the reason he wanted a plane is unknown too. But he was arrested on charges of assault, attempted robbery, and terroristic threatening, and taken to a juvenile detention center. And the pilot, who was ultimately able to stop and disarm the suspect, did not want to be identified.
Now, let's break this down because this is something straight out of Grand Theft Auto, but in real life. This kid walks into an airport armed with a rifle at 7:30 in the morning. Not at night, not when the security might be winding down. This maniac kid wakes up, brushes his teeth, or maybe not, and grabs a rifle and decides, you know, today is the day that I'm going to hijack a plane. And the crazy part is, he almost made it onto the airfield. The store employees did what most unarmed people do in this situation. They ran, locked the door, and then called the cops. Nothing against them. That's just the reality of what you are left to do when you are defenseless. But then enters the real game changer, an armed pilot. This is where the story takes a completely different turn. Instead of waiting for law enforcement, the pilot sees the threat, goes to get his gun, draws the gun, and then gives a very simple, very effective command. Drop it. And guess what? The teen complies immediately. No drawn-out standoff, no hostages, no casualties. Just one armed citizen stopping a situation that could have turned into something way worse. Because I assure you, that pilot did not want to shoot this kid. Anybody who has to draw their gun, for the most part, doesn't actually want to shoot those people that they might have to shoot to defend themselves. But when you engage in behavior that forces me or someone else to have to take your life in order to save ours, that just is what it is. This is exactly why the right to bear arms is so important. Had that pilot not been armed, the story might have ended very differently. Had the teen managed to get inside a plane, who knows what could have happened? And had people relied solely on waiting for law enforcement, he would have had way more time to cause untold amount of chaos. This is the real gun control we need. Law-abiding citizens who carry, train, and are ready to act when seconds count. But let's talk about something that's going to get buried in this story. Why was a 15-year-old armed in the first place? Where did he get the rifle? What was his plan? And how was he able to breach an airport with what looks like zero resistance until he hit a guy who was actually carrying a gun? The airport officials are already talking about reviewing security policies, but let's be honest. If you don't have an armed security in a world where lunatics can just decide they want to play pilot for the day, you're not really serious about the security. And listen, if you carry a gun for self-defense, you need to understand the legal side of using it. The reality is, even when you're 100% justified, the legal system could still come after you like you're the bad guy. And that's where programs like USCCA come in. You see, USCCA provides self-defense education, training, and legal protection for responsible gun owners. If you ever have to use your firearm, they've got your back with attorney coverage, legal defense, and training resources so you don't have to navigate the legal system alone. But let's be real, if you ever have to use your gun, you'll need a lawyer way faster than you'll need a range membership. So click the link in the description section of this video to learn more about a membership with USCCA. And even if you don't go with USCCA, as I always say, go with something. Please, go with something. I choose USCCA because I think they're the most comprehensive, and that's why they sponsor this channel. But regardless, whether you go with USCCA or not, get some type of protection. Because trust me, when you need it, you really, really, really need it, you're gonna be happy you did. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now, you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together, we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.